to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy your stay.
Hello.
Amen, I'm here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Come and have your say.
It's game on in the Premiership to be top dog. Bellevue held to 6 points by Ipswich, not capitulating at the death as they normally do when visiting Manchester. Can Bellevue hold that lead at a track they traditionally find it hard? Of course, we also have Sheffield, who go to Ipswich for a Commonwealth Garden League match and then win. A lot of people are asking the question, was Ipswich all that bothered, really? Laying in wait for the Tigers is probably the form team of Leicester. All David Attenborough fans waiting to find out, will it be the Lions or the Tigers that come out on top? I think there's still more twists and turns than a Monaco Grand Prix to come. Of course, the Championship has its own playoffs starting soon as well. And add to all of that excitement the upcoming Speedway GP with Kurtz and Smarslick going head to head. Things are getting juicy. Only in Speedway. Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. We have with us, as per normal, Chris.
Good evening.
And Matt.
Good evening.
And come on, two analogies to do with David Attenborough and a Monaco Grand Prix in one preamble. That's not bad going, is it?
If only people knew how long that took for him to write as well. So.
Pete Clark says that's better. At least those two fat, ugly blokes aren't on this week.
That's true. That's true. We had to refurbish the chairs, didn't we?
We've just got ugly blokes this week.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
In front of me.
Yes.
Put that one in.
Yes. Interesting result for Ipswich at Bellevue.
Yes, I think very much advantage Ipswich. They started off quite well, but Bellevue at one point looked like they were going to run away with that, didn't they? They sort of midway through the meeting, they sort of had a run, didn't they? But Ipswich sort of dug in a little bit, and as you've said there, Ipswich have had a tendency to collapse like a pack of cards at Bellevue, haven't they, in the past? Although they did get a draw there last time they went. Although again, in that meeting they had such a huge lead and just about clung on in the end. So, yeah, I think Richie Hawkins will be the happier of the two managers in that one. Not all over, but as I say, Bellevue historically not always done great things at Ipswich. But again, I suppose the pressure is going to be on Ipswich, isn't it? Because they're expected to. They were favourites at the start of the season.
Exactly.
All the attention is going to be on them.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely true. Brady Kurtz didn't have the greatest of nights, and you have to wonder, has he got other things on his mind at the moment?
I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be playing on his mind. He wouldn't be human if it wasn't.
Absolutely.
So, again, I guess probably on Thursday as well there'll be a mind on. That'll be his last meeting before he gets on the plane, and
he doesn't want to be injured.
And obviously he'll be hoping that he comes up that this time next week he's a world champion. So.
Interesting sort of stat from that match is that Bellevue had actually had 13 out of 15 heat winners. Yeah. So it just shows that Ipswich packed those minor places.
Avoid the last places. That's the key, I think, in any speedway meeting, isn't it? Avoid the last places, and Ipswich did that very well over the course of the meeting. I think the general consensus is that Bellevue, on paper, probably are the weakest of the four teams. They've sort of not been quite as. Looking at some of their results, I mean they've had a few close calls, haven't they? I mean Kings Lynn have gone there and got to within 6 points of them. Sheffield obviously got there by within 2 points. Although they got thumped the second time, and Ipswich of course have got a draw. So, but I think really the away thing has been the thing with Bellevue this season, unfortunately.
Do you think the stronger of the two semi-finals is Sheffield versus Leicester rather than Bellevue Ipswich?
I think it is. I said a few weeks ago, and I said this after I saw Leicester at Perry Bar a couple of weeks ago. I Leicester have the look to me of winners. I think they're coming into form at the right time. They've got I think of all the sides in the top four, they're the ones that you would say look like a solid team all the way through. They don't really have any weak links in that one. They haven't been as dominant at home this season as they have in the past. I don't think they've still picked up some big wins, of course. At
Is
home.
that because of the improvements that's been made to the track?
Maybe yes. I mean, if you look at
maybe that's helped them away from home as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their results against Ipswich this season, Ipswich went there the A fixture and won by 8, and Leicester won the B fixture by 8 as well. Sheffield got to within 6 points of Leicester the last time they went there, but the time before they lost by 22. So I think I'm sticking by my gut feeling at the moment that the team that comes out that top four as winners for me is going to be Leicester.
I mean, I said that after the last time they came to Birmingham, it's like, yeah, they look really strong.
Yeah,
they look really strong. There's a couple of comments on the shout box. If you could thank you. Elliot Hunt, I was at the meeting last night. Good night of racing. Reserves were a big factor in the result, with Bellevue only getting 4 and Ipswich getting 10. Bellevue heat leaders and Zach were very consistent. Ipswich very even throughout their team and kept it close. The crowd was smaller than previous years for a semi-final.
Didn't have the feeling atmosphere of a semi-final, did it really? You would have thought it would have been something quite, having been to Bellevue many times, you'd have thought it would have been, quite a vociferous, crowd, but it didn't really seem to be that.
Do they sense that they're not going to?
I think there's a sense, really, to be, in all honesty, that Bellevue probably aren't the favourites to win it. But I mean, even so, I was quite surprised for a semi-final to see a lot of empty
Right.
seats in the stand and on the back straight as well.
Pete Clark asks the question: didn't Bellevue raise admission prices for the playoff?
I'm not sure they did. I don't
know.
I haven't heard whether they did or not. So
I'm sure our intrepid reporters out there will come back with that information. Eric Parsons, Heat 8, Bellevue 5-1, a telling blow.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Mine's switched off.
I'm going to dock his wages every time he does that.
You've got to pay some wages first.
Sorry. I forgot we were supposed to tell him that.
Dear me, there you go, it's off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brian Racing says there will be a huge crowd at Foxhall on Thursday, and that will be important for Ipswich to progress into the final.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ipswich have been getting some pretty stonking crowds, I think, by all accounts this season. And I think really they probably need this. I think Ipswich, in fairness, because there's a big investment in that team. Doyle and Solihull won't have come cheap. I don't think Tom Brennan would have come cheap as well.
No.
Through last season. There's been, quite a substantial investment into Ipswich Speedway in recent seasons.
Saifutunov's not the force he was.
He hasn't been great, has he? I thought for Ipswich their best rider last night really was Jason Doyle. He rode superbly well.
You have to wonder whether it was the right decision to put Saifutunov in Heat 15. Possibly, maybe a Tom Brennan might have been better.
I might have been tempted to go for Brennan, to be honest, but they got away with it to an extent, Ipswich. It was sort of damage limitation, really, wasn't it? Because I think ideally they would have wanted to go. If they'd got 5-1, would have got them a draw, wouldn't it? And I think, to all intents and purposes, I think it probably would have been game set in match if that had been a draw. But
it's set it up nicely. It's not quite there for Ipswich, but it's an encouraging scoreline for them. It will be a good crowd, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Elliot Hunt, also Bellevue admission prices were £2 more in all areas than a normal Premiership League meeting, so they did put the prices up then.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Not great. Well, it's not great as well when it's tucked away on a Monday night, is it? When the kids have gone back to school now, haven't they, as well? So it's
That's right.
It's again, the age-old question is Speedo really suited for big meetings to be tucked away on a Monday night during school? So.
Not really.
Eric Parsons and Adam Crane are both echoing each other.
Yep.
Exactly, in fact. Weather good, by looks of it, for Ipswich for Thursday. So, we were supposed to be covering the first meeting of the Championship playoffs tonight.
Yeah, but the weather's intervened in that one.
Surprise, surprise.
Yep.
So we was asked the question, obviously, with the Prediction League, do you keep the same scores as they predicted before, or do we start again? It's really up to you guys.
Yeah, if you want to put your same score on, please do so. If you want to change it, Don't put it on after the meeting's done, though, of course.
Yeah.
We'll spot you doing that. So.
Yeah, this is how Chris has got most of his points, we found out. So, yeah.
Sorry, dead throat.
Yeah, okay, that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, when do Leicester and Sheffield go at it?
Next week. So the first leg is at Leicester on Monday, and obviously the second leg is at Owlerton on Thursday night. So
we're going to know a little bit more by the time we come back here next week.
this time next week we'll know, obviously, barring rain, of course, we will know who the first team is, and of course I think Monday's meeting will probably give us a bit of a clue as to who's going to be racing against.
Yeah.
Ipswich, I mean Leicester as well. I mean, obviously they got to the final last season in, shall we say, controversial circumstances. There was a lot of refereeing decisions that went in their
Not
favour.
their fault, you have to say.
Not their fault, but they didn't really perform in that final, did they? Bellevue were just too strong for them in last season's final, so they'll certainly want to make amends for that.
Well, we shall see.
Yep.
We shall see. And obviously the championship will start up for their playoffs on...
It will start on Friday now, and of course, what a way to start the Scotland Derby, Edinburgh against Glasgow.
We're going to be
Armadale.
we're going to be upsetting one side or another during the prediction league today. Then, oh no!
So we have got Edinburgh against Glasgow and Redcar against Poole. So Friday's first leg between the two Scottish sides is at Armadale, and then on Sunday, Poole will be at Redcar.
Wherever Poole goes, it's going to be a journey and a half for them.
It is a bit, yes. So it's, but interesting one, that championship at the moment. I'm looking at some of Poole's scores, certainly at home. Ironically, the only teams that have got close to them are the teams that aren't in the top four. Oxford, Plymouth got within 6 there as well. Working got within 4, but of all the other playoff teams, the one that's got closest so far is Redcar. They lost by 12 points there, and when Glasgow got beaten by 24 points at Poole, didn't they? Not too long back, and Edinburgh didn't do much better there. So Poole, I think, their home form is going to be, again, as has always been the case in so many times for Poole, going to be key for them.
Well, we shall be reporting on that next week, as well as we will also know who the new world champion is.
Yes.
Very, very exciting. I have to say, from a personal point of view, it's a sad track for it to be happening at. It's not the greatest racing produced at Voyens, always, is it?
Well, I think it's always a risk. Bear in mind that it always seems to rain every time Speedway turns up at Voyens for a big meeting. I think it's at this time of the year, it's always a bit of a risk, isn't it? So,
If you're Bartok Smarslik, I suppose you're praying for a rain-off.
Well, I think Bartek Smarslik's in prime position, isn't he, really, at the moment? And I think the way the results go, if he finishes second, he's won it. That's all he needs to do. Brady Curse wins the meeting. All Smarslik's got to do is finish the next place down, and he's world champion. What's obviously looks like it may well decided, of course, has been the sprint races, which is where Smarslik has got the more points overall than Kurtz, and that's inevitably going to lead to suggestions about the sprint race, and it's
muddies the water a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. I know that they want to try and sort of introduce new things and innovative things, and it's I've watched a couple of the practice sessions on the Saturday afternoon, and it's it's interesting to watch it, to see what sort of lines the rods are riding in, what the track's like, and but I think the purists will say, well, Speedway isn't about fast times and things like that. It's about tactics on the track when you've got 3 other rods with you. I suppose the one thing interesting it does, of course, is at the end of it, it gives you the rods the opportunity to sort of pick the gates as opposed to just drawing them out of a hat when you get to see it live. So, but for Kurtz, he probably didn't expect to be in this position at the start of the season. I think everybody thought he would have a good season. A lot of people fancied him as a dark horse to, if not win it, then maybe be a spoiler.
I think we mentioned him at the beginning of the season as a possibility.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's expected him to win 4 Grand Prix in a row. The only other riders that do that's Tony Rickardsson.
Has anybody done 5 in a row?
No. That's the record. Rickardsson had the record until the last Grand Prix. So, even Smarslik hasn't won 4 in a row, which is quite something when you consider how dominant he's been in recent seasons. I think the vast majority of people probably would like to see Brady Kurtz win the championship.
Well, it's nice for Schmarshlick to have a bit of opposition. I guess is the first thing.
Don't get me wrong. Smarslick's been a fantastic world champion, and whatever people's thoughts on Smarslick in terms of racing in this era where there's been sort of a dearth of consistent challenge. He's undoubtedly going to go down as one of the all-time greats with 5 world championships, and he's got more than enough time to go on and get that record equaling 6th, even if he doesn't do it on Saturday night.
Has anybody actually done it in their very first season? Well, obviously one person will have done it in the first GP, which is the first GP.
Hans Nielsen was obviously won the first one, but obviously he'd already won 3 championships before that. So I'm trying to think of the last world rider to win the world championship, but he's in the first attempt. Probably Jack Young, I would have thought, and that's going way
but
back.
I'm talking about in the GP.
In the GPs, nobody's done it at the first attempt in the GPs. Nobody.
Because that's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
GPs, you can just be lucky on the night, can't you?
Yeah.
In the World Championship, bring back the World Championship. Sorry, let's have them both. Why not?
Why is there no World Championship?
Well, it is the GP is the World
Yeah,
Championship.
it's
You become the World Champion.
So at one stage there was 2. Was World Championship and GP?
No, there was no GP.
Oh, right. Okay.
No.
The World Final existed until the end of '94, and that's when it was axed for the.
Sounds a bit more dramatic. World Final. Isn't it? Bit of kudos. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the TV people weren't interested in it, were they? So that sort of led to its decline in the last few years. Obviously, in its heyday, the World Final was
Massive.
It was massive.
Was it? What was the heyday for that then?
Well, when I went
70s probably.
Yeah, 70s and earlier. And when I went and saw Hans Nielsen and Bruce Pennell win at the that was 82, was that?
81 was the last Wembley one.
The one that Pennell won.
That was 81.
81.
He won 80. You didn't go to Los Angeles, I presume.
No, I didn't go to Los Angeles.
Call yourself a fan.
There was something like 90,000 people there. Yeah, it was a full Wembley. It was a full Wembley. And noisy.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, when Wembley's noisy, it's noisy, yeah. Well, I can imagine what it'd be like with the bikes going round. Oh.
Yeah. And we're talking about the previous Wembley, not the Wembley.
Old
now,
Wembley,
obviously.
yeah.
The Twin Towers and everything. It'd be great to see that sort of crowds now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
90,000.
So what was the reason for change?
Because the popularity was waning, I guess.
Popularity was waning, TV figures were waning, it was a difficulty to get sponsorship for it, and I think there'd always been a spectre of bringing a Grand Prix style World Championship in anyway, even going back, I think Ollie Olsen obviously was the brainchild behind it really. I mean, he was sort of, buying a Grand Prix style World Championship even when he was riding, so...
I mean, ultimately, it's money that did it.
I'm pretty sure those both competitions could run alongside each other somehow. Maybe have a European circuit.
Well,
GP.
we have a European GP, don't we? So
we have a European
I
championship,
would just have that.
which doesn't really seem to have caught the imagination in the way that the GP did, so...
No,
Okay.
It'd be interesting if you could have a club individual championship, so all the top riders from all the clubs all over the world had a world final. Yeah. How you organise that, I don't know.
I don't think he's plenty of dates, I think, so...
If you can dream it, it can be done.
So Brian Reeson says, pool meeting postponed tonight. Forecast was heavy rain this evening. Latest radar, no rain till later on this evening. Could have run the meeting. I think it's one of those that you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I think given that we're early September, they've got time to run these things.
Yeah.
So it'd be nicer to have it.
I think this is where they've been clever now in bringing the committed start dates forward, because once you get to October, then you're sort of in a real risk, aren't you? To run off.
You've got to run, haven't you?
You've got to run. You've got to run on off nights on freezing cold stadiums when they're half empty. So, which doesn't really do anybody any good, unfortunately. So,
Okay, so Phil Taylor says, heard a rumour whilst at Berwick Saturday watching Plymouth that Cradley may be looking at coming back in the future. Any of you guys heard this, or was it just a rumour I heard? I've got to be honest with you, I've heard in the past 7 days so many rumours that I can't all possibly be true.
They're not true, it wasn't me.
So I can't really comment. Things I know are happening in the background
With
as far as Cradley is concerned. That is for sure.
Yeah.
So obviously, yes, they are looking at coming back.
And if anybody saw Nigel Tolley's interview after the last meeting at Birmingham, he dropped a very large hint about a future for Cradley, didn't he? So I've heard a lot of things. Obviously, I'm not prepared to say them on here because I don't want to sort of, cause any issues. That's going to get it out. I think they're desperately trying to keep it as quiet as they possibly can. Really, is certainly in terms of where the site, where any site is. But I don't think it's not going to be for 2026. I think the earliest you're looking at for a return to Cradley for Cradley will be 2027. So
yeah, but there are definitely things going on in the background.
Yeah.
Watch this space, really.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Parsons says, perfect would it not be if we had a Speedway stadium with a retractable roof, especially this time of year? How I can dream high. I've said it before, and I'll just keep on saying it till I'm blue in the face. We're dreaming about stadiums. We don't own stadiums in this sport. My son actually hit the nail on the head a few years ago. He said we're a second-hand sport because we borrow everything.
Yeah, it's a hand-me-down, isn't it?
Yeah. We borrow everything. We borrow the stadiums. We borrow track staff. For as far as the bars and all the rest of it. Yeah. And we've got to stop doing that.
Borrow stadiums until someone turns around and tells them you can't borrow it anymore.
Exactly.
What's happened to both of our clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
In racing season. So.
And it's just got to stop.
Yeah.
Not going to get anywhere with hand-me-downs. We've got these tracks in fields. Forget about retractable roofs. Let's start with tracks in fields and build up from there. After all, that's how football clubs started.
Mm-hmm.
Pitches in fields.
Jumpers for goalposts.
But it's true, and they just you built up.
And unless you get somebody who comes in with a stupid amount of money.
I would say if somebody come in with a stupid amount of money, and I think that's probably is needed. I would say still build it from the ground up.
Yeah,
because you've got to build up your support as well. Yeah, and if you've got tracks in fields and you're not charging lots, the amount of money that we charge,
I've always said I think one grave mistake that was made was when Sky got involved in showing the Elite League at the end of the 90s. There was a huge amount of money that was invested into the sport, and it should have gone into setting the infrastructure up for the future, but instead it just went to the clubs who just used it to, bring the top riders over who rode over here, and then when the money started to dry up, they disappeared. So,
Fred Graham says, sorry, 5 weeks in summer months for most championship sides without meetings causes these issues. The three trophies still to be decided in championship is a disgrace. When will they learn? I think there is some truth in that.
I've said this many times, Fred. I never understand why clubs have massive long gaps in the fixtures, and then they come to the end of the season and suddenly, bing, the light comes on and they start rushing around, cramming to get all the dates in. So
they're working round riders, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've got meetings here and meetings there, and I'm guessing that's a lot of what it's about. Why would you not be riding over the school holidays?
It's the peak time.
It's got
to be peak time. It was all when I was a kid. That was all. There was a meeting every single week during August when I was a kid, because they knew that's when you're going to get more of your families there, because the kids haven't got to be up to go to school the next day. So
absolutely. Yeah. Pete Clark says, and absolutely right, only if you can find a field.
Find a field that nobody else is trying to buy for something else.
Yeah, I mean that is absolutely. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I think you've got more chance of finding a field than a stadium.
Well, there is that as well. Ben Creswell says Jason nearly missed his first race at Vauxhall on Thursday due to stuck in traffic. Okay. It's happened a few times. We've all remember was it last year? Chris Harris arrived and was getting changed in the back of the van, got out the van, got on his bike and went into the first heat.
Brilliant.
And won it, I think.
Yeah. Typical bomber. So.
Yeah.
We should talk a little bit about our Rider of the Week as well. Yeah, guys, put your nominations up for Rider of the Week. I'm going to go with Jason Doyle, by the way.
I thought Zach Cook rode very well for Bellevue last night.
Okay.
I thought he was their best rider.
Okay.
In a lot of ways.
I rate Zach Cook, by the way. I think he's a great little rider.
Yeah.
Professional.
Hasn't done quite as well as Birmingham in his visits this season as a lot of people would have thought. People would have thought he might have had a point to prove, but hasn't really done that well there, has he? So I don't know whether it was the track or...
I don't think he likes the track.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. Don't think many people do. We have to say there is no track now. It's been slowly...
Well, it is there, but it's just...
bits have been taken away more and more, and it's just the fence is down, everything's down. I'm not even sure whether the shale's still there anymore. Is it, Pete? You can let us know. I know they've got a deadline to get it.
It's got to be out by the end of the month, haven't they?
End of the month, yeah.
Is it definitely going to housing?
I believe so.
Have they got planning permission for it?
I believe so.
I mean, I've just heard it's going for a housing, but I haven't seen nothing
Yeah,
official.
they're not intending to build on it for a while, so we've got an empty stadium there that's going to get vandalised a la Coventry.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's going to happen straight away. And I think if we could have agreed a lease, we'd have probably still be there.
Yeah.
But of course, we would be having to pay the whole
lot
lease
because the greyhounds have gone.
Because the greyhounds have gone, and you just have to think, why don't they just give it us that half a lease or whatever it was? Because surely having somebody at the stadium looking after it is better from their point of view than the place getting vandalised.
Personally, I think the Speedo would have looked after the place a bit better than the greyhounds are doing, if I'm being honest. But Chris Butler's shell's still down, so...
Okay.
Horace has returned.
Ryan Ingram. He's giving his view on Rider of the Week. Ryan Ingram for his 18 points as guests for the Duckdale Bulls at Kent on Sunday, which brings me
to the Bulls.
Yeah, brings me to a sore point. So there are a certain amount. Somebody out there will tell me what the number is because I can't. But a draw in Speedway is...
Yep.
How many points?
45 all.
45 all. Okay, so 45 plus 45 is 90 points. There are 90 points available in a match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
The only time when there isn't 90 points available is if less than 3 riders finish. And so if you get get like a 5-none or something like that. There was a situation, perhaps Lawrence, you could give your opinion on this since you was there. There was a situation at the Kent Brummies Bulls, I should say, match that it was something to do with Vinnie Ford not being available, and he should have been available. And so they had a guest, and then afterwards they said, no, you can't have that guest. We're taking the points off him. So they just took the points off him. But surely those points should then have gone to Birmingham, because those points are still, those points that are left in that match now do not add up to 90 points. So surely they've won that match by cheating.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does seem a little bit... Well, I've got the statement here in front of me, so we'll just... And
I'm not saying that they intended to cheat. Please don't...
Yeah.
But
on Monday the 8th of September, the Speedway Control Bureau investigated the reasons why Vinnie Ford did not ride for Kent in their home NTT fixture against Birmingham on Sunday the 7th of September, when the original fixture that Mr Ford was meant to be riding in on the 7th, Workington v Berwick in the Cab Direct Championship, had been postponed some 15 hours previously. It was stated that Mr Ford, who currently cannot drive himself and is based in Scotland, has no means of transport to arrive at Kent in time for the 12 p.m. start time. The SCB referee at the Kent fixture had been informed that Mr Ford was unavailable for this fixture, and having consulted the Speedway Control Bureau had at the time allowed a facility. However, on further investigation, this should not have been authorised, and the score of the guest for Cooper and Rushden will be deleted from the meeting result.
Can I just say, if somebody's listening to this who's never been to Speedway before and was thinking of going to a Speedway meeting, they'd listen to this and they'd go,
Why?
what? They'd go, I can't be asked.
Well, I mean, that's happened to a lot of fans, of course.
I want to see bikes racing.
Yeah, and that's true. But I mean, we're not. You look at other sports. You look at rugby. You look at cricket. They've all got. I mean, cricket's the word. I mean, with the Duckworth-Lewis method.
Nobody knows.
Nobody understood that, including Duckworth or Lewis.
Doesn't come into does not come into effect a lot, does it?
Yeah.
I mean, Speedway
Every time it rains, it
all
does,
the
yeah.
time. There's,
Well,
you
yeah.
know.
So I just think if the points are taken away from one team, surely they should be awarded to the other team. Otherwise, that's made those points worthless.
Or would the fairest thing would have been just to rerun the meeting?
Possibly, but maybe. Yeah, I mean,
Dates is obviously going to come into that, particularly at this stage.
and also the costs of running meetings and etc. That's
Yeah.
something we have to, unfortunately, take into account. I just think that the rule's daft. If you're taking them away from a team, where those points no longer exist anymore.
There's another good question in there, isn't it? What is the good rule in Speedway? What is the best rule in Speedway?
What a great question. What is the best rule in Speedway?
And if you can think of one straight away.
Bonus points. Bonus points is the best rule in Speedway.
Rider bonus points or the team bonus points?
Rider bonus points.
Yeah.
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 Because then that puts a situation where you're helping teammates and you're not thinking, well, I want to get those 3 points because I'm going to get paid more. If you're going to get paid the same. So I think that's the best rule in Speedway. There you go. That was easy.
I mean, the referee, I suppose the referee as well has got something to answer there, because obviously, you know, it may well be that the referee just made a genuine mistake on it. But,
yeah, which happens. I understand everything that was said. What I don't understand is where all of a sudden these points go to. If you run a heat,
yeah,
and it's 5-1, and then the rider in front is disqualified for whatever reason after the race. Okay, after the race is done, and then all of a sudden they realise, he hadn't got the right equipment.
So silencer was loose.
Silencer was loose. There you go. They don't just take the points off him.
Yep. They promote the next.
They promote that. The points are re-awarded.
Yeah.
Right, as it should be. Mm-hmm. Why is that any different?
Why? Or was it just wasn't worth the hassle?
Yeah.
That's my suspicion.
It's okay. I think there's some comments above Brian there, or did I miss?
We've gone on to that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
We've got
So
some more comments.
Brian has made this comment. I don't agree with this comment. I'm not sure he's not saying it tongue in cheek though. The trouble with running meetings early on, you will run out of meetings and people would have no Speedway to see later in the season. I don't think people care about that. I think people care about having a season.
Some people might say that the season starts a bit too early. Whether we should be having meetings in March.
I think you have to.
It's got to be weather permitting.
But only if you with the intention of getting it over with. We finished our meetings in August.
Yeah.
If we'd been in the playoffs,
It was partially because Birmingham were rubbish.
Well, it's because we didn't have any rain-offs.
Yeah.
It's the first season, I believe, that we've had a season at Birmingham with no rain-offs home, and I don't believe we had any away as well. I'm sure Lawrence will tell us.
Yeah.
Elliot Hunt, Birmingham Balls had a meeting at Kent on Sunday, which we was just talking about. It was nice to see our volunteers enjoy a meeting without having to help for a change. There was some good racing. Cooper Russian points have been removed from the score, as we've said, but not awarded back. Or at the very least, I know would be a ball ache for whoever had to remind it, but like I was talking about that 5-1, riders promoted. In that heat, as if it had been a silencer or whatever it was. That's the way it should be done. There was some good racing. Ryan Ingram was super for us and got 18 points from 7 rides.
Yeah, Elliot's gone
Ryan Ingram is Elliot's rider of the week.
Ahead at the moment.
Pete says the shale is still there, and you're right. There was an urban YouTuber they're filming on Sunday. God's sake.
Oh, very well.
Yep. Brian Reeson, Rider of the Week, Vintage, Jason Doyle. And Zach Cook, Rider of the Week.
Yeah.
And Pete Clark says, does Cooper Russian's track record from Heat 1 still stand? What a great question.
It shouldn't do, should it, sir?
I mean, I suppose in one sense he did ride it and he did break the track record, even if he didn't score points. But those 3 points that he had in that race should have been awarded to whoever was second, and whoever was third should have got the 2 points. Surely that's the right way of doing it.
Worth saying as well, it's not criticising Kent at the end of the day.
Absolutely
At the end of the day, it's an administrative decision, isn't it?
I'm not criticising anybody. Yeah. I'm criticising the rule.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong. So, Chris Thorogood, Cooper Russian took part in the second half at Foxhall last week. His final ride was a 10th slower than Heat 2 in the main meeting. His first time at Foxhall and really wasn't far off the pace. Very impressive, looks a real talent. An appreciative crowd were very impressed. He does look the real deal, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was very impressed with him when I saw him at Perry Bar. I've got to say, I mean, it's the crowd. We haven't seen brilliant crowds at Birmingham all season. If I'll let you, you obviously seen something. You've seen something you like.
I have to get to the bottom of this. Chris Butler said that he took a shade of 2 seconds off the track record at Kent. 2 seconds off the track record. Now hold on, are we talking about the actual track record, or is this a National Development League track record, or what we're talking about here? Because that is, on the face of it, incredible.
Yeah. Check his engine, someone.
Lawrence Rogers says, unfortunately, all that is done is the rider's score is taken off the total, not points scored changed. The Bulls lads asked that themselves as they would have earned more. We went without 4 riders in Darryl, Sam, Max and Aaron, and used our own MDL lads and the crew brothers with just one guest in Ryan Ingram. So I'm asking the question, Lawrence, since you're on today. Do you think that rule is right? Surely that needs to be looked at. Elliot Hunt, we had 2 rain-offs at home and 2 away. Bank holidays caused a major issue. Okay. I think we did have one. Now that's been brought to my attention. I do remember that. I think I was on holiday. So that's probably why I didn't register it.
Okay.
Rich Thomas, daftest rule I ever saw was when, after a series of reruns, only one rider left in the race, Rick Miller, who was then excluded for not attempting to race as he pulled wheelies for 4 laps.
I saw one of those. I saw one of those once at Browne. It was the last rider was Chris Manchester who was riding. It was a Coventry Bellevue, I think, was the meeting. He was the last rider, and he pulled a wheelie down the back straight and got excluded for not racing properly. Frank Empton was the referee, in case you're wondering. So it's
only in Speedway. Yeah. That's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just
it's just mad. Okay, Chris Butler, we had a rain off at Brum called off on the Sunday half hour after we had laid all the sheets. You would know that, wouldn't you, Chris? Yeah, that would stick. Pete Clark got on with Ryan Ingram for Rider of the Week.
He's way ahead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Lawrence Rogers said it's not correct, but will it ever be changed?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. It should be. Somebody should get hold of that rule book and tear it up and start again.
It does have that rule does have the marking of one that's been done on the back of a fag packet, doesn't it? So like a lot of other rules in Speedway seem to be.
I mean, but we're laughing about it because it wasn't a particularly important meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have ended up with Birmingham finishing second in the league, I believe. But hey ho. But what happens if that happens in a semi-final or in a final? That's not good.
No, it's not good.
That's not good. And it needs to be looked after. Yeah. What happens if there's a bonus point at stake?
I suppose it would be entertaining watching Calvin Tatum try to explain it, but but that's about it.
But that wouldn't happen because it happened. The change would happen after it came to light.
And not mentioning the money that's involved.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why the promoters like it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that's a load of points that's gone nowhere and nobody's getting paid for.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to the bottom of why that rule's there. Now I'm understanding it. Only in Speedway.
I have got a copy of the SCB Handbook for Rules and Regulations down from a few years ago, and I did try and read it once. I got to about page 3 and I just gave up because it's just a complete minefield. You can't do this unless in this instance that happens, but in this particular instance you can't do it. It's just, you know.
And if there's a day with a Y in it, yeah.
I've got a stupid question and a question this week.
Okay. Have we got to work out which is which?
They're both. No. One's pretty stupid. Regarding engines, are all engines the same? And have they always been the same? I'm talking about spec and so forth.
500cc.
500cc single cylinder.
I mean, can they be tweaked or are they tweaked?
Well, they tune them, don't they? But they can't bore out it's got to be. The cylinder's got to be the right size. It's got to be 500cc, or probably
Right.
499. I believe when Speedway first started, they used to turn up on any old bike,
Right, okay.
take the brakes off, and good to go.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, most of the bikes that they're riding around are GMs these days, aren't they? I think.
GM's, Jawas is another one, of course.
Not so much these days. So, yeah, I don't think there's any other. There was
Godden was the one.
Godden
that
was the one, yeah.
Growing up, Godden was a really big one when I grew up. I think Hans Nielsen won one of
you
the
used to
World
have
Championships.
and Weslex, of course,
Yeah,
all of those. But not many.
My next question is: I want you to promote the sport.
Was that your stupid question?
That was stupid.
Okay.
The next question: I want you to promote the sport, and I want other people to think about this to a non-speedway attender in 3 words. Only 3 words.
Go to
And I
match.
want other people to have a think about it as well.
I don't think you can. I think that it's.
You've got to.
Let me finish.
That's the
Let me
rule, that's
finish.
the rule.
I don't. Let me finish. I've answered your question. Go to match.
Go to match.
Right, because I don't think you can tell somebody what Speedway's like.
Is that going to draw the crowds? Go
They don't
to
get
match.
it when you tell them.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Got no brakes.
Got no brakes.
Well
is
done.
the-
Now you're
yeah.
getting the gist of it now.
Yeah, go to match.
No,
What's
that
wrong with
doesn't
that?
work. It doesn't work. That could mean anything.
It's a difficult one. I think whenever I've explained Speedway to people, that their eyes have glazed over. They don't understand. They don't get the excitement of it. And I think you just have to go. You just have to go.
Go to match, or you must go.
That's what I tell people. If you're interested, go and see a match, because that's the only way you'll find out.
It smells nice.
You don't get the smell now, though. Really?
No.
No, you don't really get it now. That was always one of the best things about.
One of the best things. Yeah, it's
especially at the start of the season when you walk into the stadium for the practice and you
people
get
used to say, "Oh, can smell the methanol," but it's not the methanol.
No,
it's the was it Castrol?
Castrol.
Yeah.
The oil, and which they use plant-based oils and stuff now, don't they? Which you don't. They should bottle that. Just
fantastic smell,
drift
wasn't
it,
it?
just drift it out over the stadium.
It couldn't have been very good for you.
I don't think it was a problem.
Ain't done you any harm, has it?
No.
You look pretty gnawed out.
Yeah, it hasn't done me any harm at all, Mum.
Sorry, Brian.
Talking about Cooper Russian and track records. Cooper Russian done 58.97 at Kings Lynn for the Stars, which is near the fastest of the season. The kid's
He's a talent.
yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Adam Skornicki in terms of his racing style, even with the tassels on the side of his leathers as well. So
Lawrence Rogers says some of us have to read the rule book. You have my deepest condolences. I have tried to read the. I think I got about.
is that why every time I walk past you in the pits launch, you were scratching your head this season?
I'm not sure whether Shane's talking about my age decade or.
Webby's 70s were tweaked. I mean, I could go so many places with that. I'm going to get to none of them.
Not for another 13 minutes. Though.
So I take a look at the clock, and
Wow.
yeah, exactly. I think
Don't look at that clock, I think it's slow.
it is slow. It's even worse when I look at this clock.
Yep.
Bren Crosswell says, I got hooked after going to my first fixture. That's the point.
Yeah.
That you can. When did you get hooked? Say after your first fixture, because that's true.
Probably would have been after my
Yeah.
first fixture, yeah. So,
It always is.
yeah.
And same with me. My hit when those riders went the wrong way around the corner, as I saw it in my juvenile years, because obviously they're turning right and going left.
Yeah.
Not realising that you're steering with the back wheel. My jaw hit the floor,
Yeah.
and that was it. I can still feel my jaw hitting the floor. Shane Rawlins, Webby, Speedway is dying in the UK. Where will UK League Speedway be in 10 years? I hope they'll have started again, but let's make no mistake, it's not just dying in the UK, it's dying worldwide. Where are the Americans?
Yep. Swedes not really.
The
nothing's
Swedes,
really coming through in
the
Sweden.
Danes,
Yep.
the Norwegians, the Canadians.
I'm surprised really at the Americans. I mean, they can sort of like make a sport out of anything, can't they?
Well,
You
they've
know,
still
why
got
can't
Speedway
they
in
s-
America, but
Yeah,
it's
Nowhere near as big as it was in the 80s. So.
Pete Clark says, is the rule book in Braille? Hey.
In Crail, I think so.
Yeah.
So, yep, as we say, we need to have a look at our prediction league now, don't we? So,
This
How
one
we doing?
first.
yep.
Ooh, so who's at the top?
Still
Skippy-
close.
Skippy Matthews?
Skippy's still at the top, yeah. Just by a point ahead of Elliott, and Andrew's in there as well. Rich Thomas 182. Simon's still lurking in there as well, 180, only 4 points off the top. So
It's going to be a close one this
Yeah,
this
isn't
year,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's anybody's there at the top.
top 7 or 8.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
Well, I'd say 7. I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to do
I'm
it.
in a strong position, have to be strong, because I've got 16 other people above me.
Yeah. I can't even see where I am.
You're,
No, I'm not too bad. Not too bad.
For you.
15th. Yeah, I'm happy. Still above you again.
Yes.
Every year.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
I'm going to beat you next year.
that's last week's results then. So
I've already spoken to Matt about it, and he's promised me. So,
yeah, so obviously Paul Redcar meeting. If you want, as I say, if you want to keep your same predictions, then please do so, and obviously we'll put them on the. We will include them, of course, on this week's there because, of course, it is going to feature part of this week's fixtures. So okay, so your first fixture for this week is the Knockout Cup semi-final first leg tomorrow, Oxford against Redcar.
okay, and it's me to go. Oxford versus Redcar. I'm going to say 4 points to Oxford. Up to you.
I'll say 6 points to Oxford.
Oxford by 10.
What makes you think I'm taking this seriously the way I thought about that?
I know. It
Okay.
sounds like you know what you're talking about. doesn't it?
Right, then on Thursday, it's the second leg of the Premiership Playoff semi-final. That's Ipswich against Bellevue.
That's up to you, Matt.
Ipswich by 12.
Ipswich by 4.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than we expect, but I'm still going to go for Ipswich by 6.
Which would be a run-off then. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great TV, wouldn't it? So. Right, Friday night, the attention slips to the Championship Playoff semi-final. Edinburgh against Glasgow.
I'm going to go Glasgow.
That's going to be a god. Love to. Is it on BSN?
I think it probably will be, yes.
Yeah, I might get that. Might watch that.
I can't think you can do a deal to get all the playoff meetings going in the Championship, so might be...
And I've got to come up with a. What did you say? Glasgow by.
Glasgow by 4.
Okay. I'm going to say Edinburgh by 2.
I'm going to say Glasgow by 8. Okay. Staying in the Championship on Saturday, so this is, I think it is probably the last official fixture of the Championship League season. That is Berwick against Workington.
It's up to me. I'm going to say Berwick by 8.
Berwick by 12.
I'll go Berwick by 4.
Okay. It's not the last meeting because the last meeting is the day after. That's the return match at Workington against Berwick. It's on Sunday afternoon.
That's up to you.
Workington by 12.
Workington by 8.
You
No,
can say 4 again
no,
if you want to.
I like 4, but I'm going for 8. It's my favourite this week.
I'll go on Workington by 10.
Okay, next one is the first leg of the Championship Playoff semi-final, Redcar against Poole. It's on Sunday evening.
That's up to you, Chris.
Pool by 6.
I'm going to say Redcar by 4.
I'll say a draw.
I nearly did go a draw.
Okay.
If you get that, I'm going to be very upset.
Right, so on Monday, it's the first leg of the other semi-final in the playoffs in the Premiership, Leicester against Sheffield.
Okay, I'm going to say Leicester by 12.
Leicester by 14.
Yes, Chris. Leicester by 10.
Okay, and last but by no means least, the rearranged fixture from tonight in the second leg of the Championship playoffs semi-final, Poole against Redcar.
That's up to you, Matt.
Poole by 12.
Poole by 4.
I'm going to go Poole by 12 as well. Okay, is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, so why are we having so many problems with finishing seasons off
Again.
when there's just so few fixtures?
Can I just read this lovely compliment? Hi, chaps. No, it's been a tough year, but the community you guys have built up is truly brilliant. I love listening to your show. We are a family, and you three are responsible. Keep the faith, boys. That's
Oh,
from
wow.
Darren.
Responsible.
Responsible. I don't want to be responsible for anything.
For what? Thanks for that, Darren.
No,
Much
thank you very
appreciated.
much.
Yes.
That is... I might cry now. No, let's not bother. So, let's have a look. Okay, William Carnes wants to know...
The William Carnes.
Is it the... Well, yeah. I think Iwade... How do you pronounce that? Is it
I think it's
Iwade?
Iwade. I think it
Iwade was altered this year, start-finish moves, so track record is effectively an NDT record.
Yep.
Okay, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Taylor, I think you have Nick Skippy Matthews, Poole versus Redcar the wrong way around. So he messaged me.
It's off anyway, Phil.
So yeah,
yeah, we will change that, sir.
well, you can just re-put it if you want to, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Well, disregarding Leicester, what is the next hopeful project for Midlands Speedway? Probably Coventry.
I think it's Coventry or possibly Cradley, isn't it? Those seem to be the ones there. Coventry obviously is the one obviously that because they've got something to go back to. It's just whether they can get back in there. So
Yeah.
It does seem to have gone very, very quiet again with Coventry. So
That could be a bad thing or a good thing, couldn't it?
yeah.
Read that.
I was talking about what you was talking about, the engines, so where all the top riders tweaked in the 70s. I know I was in the pits at Perry Bar.
Yeah.
There you go. Ben Cresswell wants to know, what was your first fixture? Do you know?
I think my first fixture that I remember is Wolves Cradley. 1990.
Well,
We were leading by 4 points, then Cradley got a 5-1 to pinch a draw in the last heat.
oh, well, you would remember that.
Yeah. But that's I think the first official meeting I went to, I was about 3 years old, which was...
Yeah, you mentioned this last week.
I think it was Birmingham Wimbledon, which would have been at the old Wheels in about 86, I think. So
Okay.
I don't remember anything about it, but...
You obviously got the smell of the methanol at that point. No, sorry, the Castrol.
Just
Castrol
a
GTX.
side sweep. What were the crowds like at the Wheels? I'll tell you why, because I put a picture up today on the history forum, and it was Wheels, but somebody was saying that maybe that's stock. Maybe it was stock cars. But I mean, were the crowds any good?
Initially, they were quite good.
It looked a great crowd.
Yeah, initially they were quite good. Probably not compared to standards of the day, but certainly by today's standards. Yeah, I mean, it was fairly packed from what I remember.
It was a good track, wasn't it?
It was a good track until the stock cars ruined it.
Yeah.
It was a great shape.
Yeah.
Although our riders quite liked what the stock cars did, because I've talked about this before. There was a big hole on bend 1.
Yeah.
Our riders knew where it was. Their riders didn't.
Yeah.
And us fans knew where it was as well. We used to go way every time they hit it and went backwards.
Does things like that still go on?
Probably.
Yeah, I think the big thing he went against the Wheels, really, I suppose, was the fact that the quality or non-quality of the stadium.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah,
It wasn't great.
I know somebody who said they went there once and they said they nearly broke their neck trying to get up the steps and they didn't go again after that.
Yeah.
So I was told that those steps were a bit of a challenge to get up.
Yes, there was. Yeah. Rich Thomas said Tim Stone, ex-Newport promoter, showed me a poster from the early days at Newport, 2 bikes with the slogan, "Let ace racers on the shifting shaleways." Bet that brought the crowds flocking in.
That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cross saying after a few drinks.
Yes.
And I think we've caught up.
Now we're caught up.
I
Okay.
think so.
Brings us to a nice conclusion.
Conclusion. Good God, that's a big word for you.
Yep.
You normally...
Very quick one then. This time next week, who is going to be the world champion?
Oh.
Give us a few
There's one of two. It's either going to be Brady Kurtz or Bartek Schmarzlik. That's the only two available.
I'll go for Schmarzlik then.
I just think the momentum's all with Brady Kurtz at the moment, so I'm going to say Brady Kurtz, and I know you're going to say Schmarzlik.
I'm going to say Schmarzlik because at the end of the day, as like I said, he only needs to finish second, even if Kurtz wins it. So
the only thing I will say, the only other time that he was involved in a right at the death, he lost it.
He did indeed, yes.
So that could
different point system, I think. Then though, wasn't it? I think. So.
Yeah. Right, well, and on that note, I think Chris is trying to chuck us out again.
Get out of my pub.
Thank you very much for your contributions today, everybody. We will see you next week. It's all getting a bit exciting now. See you soon. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.